Hey guys, it's Nicole and I am here with my very first pregnancy update with baby number 2. If you didn't know, I am 9 weeks and 3 days pregnant today. But this is my second baby and yeah, I guess I'm just going to be updating you guys finally on what's been going on, with the pregnancy so far. So I guess I'll start with my early symptoms after I found out that I was pregnant. If you want to know a little bit of my before symptoms, what I was experiencing before I found out I was pregnant, then watch my announcement video because I go into detail of all of those symptoms and everything and all that. My symptoms after I realized I was pregnant was kind of it validated the symptoms I was experiencing before, which in that video I explained that a lot of my symptoms were symptoms of you about to start your period, my boobs were hurting really bad, they felt really swollen. I was feeling kind of under the weather, not really nauseous, just really unwell, I just didn't feel very good. I was freaking exhausted, just dead dog tired for no reason. So when I found out I was pregnant, I found out on, I think I was 4 weeks and 6 days when I found out I was pregnant. I found out on September 3rd, which is actually my brother's 21st birthday. After I hit 5 weeks pregnant, then I definitely did start to feel nauseous. I definitely started feeling the morning sickness, which kind of sucked because with Aaliyah, my first child, I was sick all the time. My morning sickness was definitely a lot worse with Aaliyah. I was kind of thinking that I was going to get out of the morning sickness this time around, and I was really hoping. Alas, I do have lots of morning sickness. Yeah, so I also put that during those early symptoms, I also had instead of nausea, I had a really sour feeling in my stomach. I don't know if that makes sense, but my stomach just felt really sour. So then after I started reaching 6 and 7 weeks, then I started to realize that my energy levels were bipolar. I was either super exhausted or super energized and just ready to clean. That was my main thing is even at my friend Kendra's house, I'd go over to her house and just clean her freaking house for her, and that's just not like me. I hate cleaning, and usually super lazy when it comes to that type of thing, but lately I've just been super energized when it comes to cleaning, and just motivated, I guess, when it comes to feeling all cozy and clean and just nice. Also, I've been super freaking hungry. This has been a symptom from the beginning until now. I am just non-stop hungry. No matter what I'm craving, I just can't stop eating, which probably has a lot to do with the fact that I'm gaining a lot more weight, I think, with this pregnancy than I was with Aaliyah. I definitely feel way bigger already, not just in my baby bump, but bigger. I feel my arms are bigger, I feel my legs are bigger, my butt feels it's getting smaller and saggier. I've also been super emotional and just hormonal, and Maggie's actually been experiencing the symptom with me. She's also been experiencing my nausea too. My twin sister, she's been experiencing all these sympathy symptoms with me, so it's kind of funny. I'll just sit there telling her about something that's sad, and I'll feel ridiculous because I'm starting to tear up as I'm telling her about it, and I look up at her and she's just go on, tell me more. When you're pregnant, you feel kind of crazy because your hormones are just even though you feel it's justified, other people around you are kind of okay girl, calm down, you crazy. Maggie is just she's sympathizing with me so much more this time around. So very quickly, I'm going to go over my cravings that I had in the beginning of my pregnancy. And in the very beginning, I was craving the vinegary, salty stuff I did with Aaliyah. So I was craving banana peppers, and then of course pickles. I was craving pickles and green olives. And then I went through a little phase where I was craving just Mexican food, not real Mexican food, but Taco Bell and Taco Time, if you know what Taco Time is. And then also I started craving in the beginning and have still continued to crave fruits and berries. Now I'm going to go over my 9-week symptoms. So now we're officially in week 9, talking about week 9 and all of the up-to-date recent symptoms and cravings and all of that fun stuff. And then at the end of this video, then I'll talk to you guys about updates about the baby and all of that. It's old school fashioned pregnancy vlog updates. I always did it. I would tell you guys my symptoms, my cravings, and then any updates I have, and that's kind of how I'm planning on doing these. And then at the very, very end of the video, then I'll show you my baby bump. So my symptoms for week 9. Nausea is still there. Every single morning, it rarely ever fails. Every single morning when I get up, I have to throw up. If there's nothing in my stomach, then I dry heave or throw up stomach acid. And I know that some people say that like crackers help, and you know, like putting something in your stomach or eating when you first wake up helps, but I just wake up so overwhelmingly nauseous that food, smells, like nothing is good for me. Like I literally, the only thing that helps is I have to throw up. Some days I'll wake up and it'll be just bad all day. Like all day I'll just feel like crap, I'll feel super sick. And then there's some days that I wake up feeling like normal all day. And those are the days that I embrace and just love, because it's a rare time that I wake up feeling normal and stay that way throughout the entire day. Most of the time I wake up, feel nauseous, throw up, and then I feel better afterwards. Maybe a little bit queasy, you know, in the beginning of the day. Later on in the day, usually around dinner time, I start to feel nauseous again. And hopefully it goes away after I throw up, but sometimes it doesn't, and I just feel like crap for the rest of the day and end up going to bed early. I'm still hungry all the time. I think I mentioned that earlier. My pregnancy brain, that's another symptom for this week. I'm also so tired still. I feel exhausted still all the time. So I've also been having a lot of food aversions. So like there's been foods that I absolutely don't even want to like mess with. Most of those foods are the foods that I have like overindulged on and then gotten sick off of. Not only have I been having like food aversions, I've been having like what Maggie and Sean call anti-cravings. So, you know, like when you're craving something and that craving starts with like, you can like almost smell it, you can almost taste it, you know, like it's like so strong in your pregnant little mouth and nose that you're just like, oh my god, I must have this or I'll freaking die, you know, like those are like how my cravings are, at least. I've been having like anti-cravings where I'll get like that smell and that taste for food that I do not want, or something that I do not want. Like so far I've had it for like sweet pickles, which I freaking hate sweet pickles, but like the other day I could not get the smell and taste out of my mouth for some damn reason. Like I had it with beer, which, you know, like I literally like felt like I could smell and taste beer in my mouth, and I was just like I thought that was really weird. I did not experience these anti-cravings with Aaliyah. So I've also been getting a lot of headaches and dizziness, and I can't stop peeing. I have to pee like every couple hours. I've also been breaking out really bad with this pregnancy. Like my skin has been absolutely horrible. I usually don't break out. Well, it probably also has to do with the fact that like I've been super tired and super lazy, and at nighttime I'm not washing my makeup off like I usually do. But with this pregnancy, I have been not washing my makeup off at nighttime for basically the entire pregnancy, and my skin has been breaking out with like these under the skin like zits, you know. I'm just not used to like breaking out, especially with like those types of zits. I hate those freaking like under the skin acne. They suck. And I can't remember if I mentioned, I think I did, maybe not, but my boobs are still really sore, but they're just not as sore. They're still pretty swollen, you know, and feel pretty swollen, but they're definitely not as sore as they have been in the past. Cravings. I've been craving lots of sweets, like sour candies, sweet candies, like anything like that's like sour or sweet, not really chocolate. I've also been craving like, you know, like sweets like zebra cakes, Ho-Hos, Twinkies, that type of unhealthy crap. Also, like I mentioned before, I've been craving fruits, and then I've been craving a lot of like fluids. Like I feel like I'm super dehydrated, which I think with pregnancy is normal. I can't get enough. Every single morning after I'm done getting sick, I can't help but crave a freaking sausage breakfast sandwich. Just anything that's got a sausage patty on it, like a sausage breakfast sandwich thing with cheese and no egg. Guiltily enough, I have been kind of giving into that craving, but the other cravings, like the other unhealthy cravings, like the sweets and stuff, I haven't really been giving into. I don't eat a lot of like Ho-Hos or cakes or anything like that. So my updates for this week: baby is the size of a cherry this week. Okay, that's another thing I have to say before I lose my track of mind. I think this baby is a boy. With Aaliyah, I totally believed that like it was a girl, you know, like I from the very beginning was like, okay, like it might be a boy, but I really think it's a girl, and if the doctors tell me it's a boy, I'm gonna be like flabbergasted. Like that's how I feel with this pregnancy. I feel like it's a boy, and if the doctors tell me it's a girl, I'm gonna be freaking flabbergasted. We'll see if that changes, you know, at all later on in my pregnancy, but right now I'm like absolutely convinced it's a boy. Yeah, so baby is officially a fetus instead of an embryo this week. He officially went from embryo to fetus, so he's getting bigger. Just my little cherry baby. My first appointment is on October 15th, so in about a week and 2 days. Super stoked for that appointment. I can't wait. I'm hoping that they can check in there and tell me and make sure, just ease my mind, that just let me know that there's only one baby in there, because even though everybody else, like I'm over here like telling myself like there's only one baby in there, like it's only one, but that there are some things that like make me like, you know, a little curious, like is there twins? Just because like I'm getting like bigger, you know, I feel like I'm way bigger this time around than I was with Aaliyah. And I thought it was kind of weird because so when I took the pregnancy test to find out that I was pregnant, I took it the same exact time that I took when I found out with Aaliyah. So when I found out with Aaliyah, then I took it 3 days after my missed period. I took the test. And the test came up like with a faint positive. And I took it first early in the morning, like pee, you know, like with Aaliyah. And it came up faint. It was like a faint positive to the point where like when I went to get my pregnancy confirmed at the doctor, then I wasn't even sure if they were going to say I was pregnant. Like I was kind of like, I don't know, I could have just been imagining things. That could have been like me just imagining a line there or whatever. I could like not be pregnant. With this pregnancy, like I took the pregnancy test 2 days. So a day before I took it with Aaliyah, I took it 2 days before, or took it 2 days after my missed period. And it came out straight freaking like hard as hell. Like after 3 seconds of me peeing on that sucker, it freaking came up like hard positive, straight up like, bitch, you pregnant, you know? And so I was kind of confused as to why, you know, because I don't know, because doesn't the HCG levels, I don't really know this stuff, but like doesn't the HCG levels like decipher how hard the positive comes out? That's why like when you're farther along, it comes out straight like bloop, positive, you know, instead of like if you haven't missed your period yet, but you are pregnant, then it might come out like really light positive, and then you take it a couple days after, and it comes out a harder positive, right? Am I right by thinking that? I don't know. Either way, I feel like that means or meant that my HCG levels were higher than they were with Aaliyah, but that's just kind of like where my mindset's been, and then after that I started getting like bigger, you know, so it's kind of like, woo. And then also, it probably doesn't help too that I had a girl that I know who lives right down the road, and she's like an acquaintance of mine, but like a friend in our friend group or whatever, and she just found out that she's expecting for the first time, and she is expecting twins. I don't know if that just like freaked me out or whatever after I found out she was expecting twins, just like, oh my god, like, God, I really hope I don't have twins, like, oh my god. I don't know, we'll find out on the 15th. My doctor's appointment is the same office with the same doctor that delivered Aaliyah, and at this doctor's office, I'm not sure if they're gonna give me an ultrasound, so that's where I'm like a little unsure, like if they're gonna even, you know, be able to tell me if I'm expecting twins, you know, but I'm hoping that when they listen for the heartbeat, then I'm just going to tell him, like, hey, make sure there's only one in there, and, like, see if he can hear 2 heartbeats or find 2 heartbeats. I don't know, but either way, I don't think they're going to do an ultrasound, because with Aaliyah, then at that doctor's office specifically, they don't do ultrasounds unless there's a reason to, you know, like if you have a high-risk pregnancy, or when they're doing your gender reveal, and to, like, you know, make sure all the measurements are good at 20 weeks. So the last thing that I'll do is show you guys what prenatals I'm taking, and then we'll show you guys my belly. There's a big ass spider right there, oh my god. Holy shit. Oh my god, Mom, you gotta kill it. Oh, that was stressful. My mom killed the spider, so we're all safe now. I don't know why I'm opening these. I can't remember if I freaking took one today. But I got these Vitafusion prenatals. They're just the gummies. They're easy on the tummy. They're freaking delicious, man. They taste like candy. I prefer these over pills because pills make me super nauseous. So, yeah, those are my prenatals, and I'll show you guys my belly.